Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today is episode 3 of painting a cute character that I've designed. The theme is candy pets, or candy cuties as I call them. And today we're painting Pear Drop Pooch. And I don't know if you have pear drops in your country. In the UK they are just little red and yellow sweets or candy, hard candy in the shape of a pear, and they have loads of white sugar all over them. Let's get started. I'm going in here with a warm red, so it's slightly more yellowy than normal red, and what I'll do is I'll have the shadows be slightly bluer. I've gotten a bit quicker at doing these first washes with the gouache. And you can see here I'm just adding in some shade while it's still wet, so that I can blend it and remove those harsh lines, making sure to include the fold in the ears slightly. And I am learning from my mistake in my previous 2 videos, and trying to keep the areas I want lighter. I'm just putting less paint on those areas. You can see this in that ear that I'm painting over now. It's a little lighter where the light will be hitting it. And then I'm going in with a yellow. Took a little time to find the right colour of yellow. I wanted it to be initially quite light, and then I was going to add darker shades as it went on. Again, I kept this design very simple, and it's a little bit different to the others in that I haven't included whiskers, and I've given him a little nose, and I didn't include the lines on the paws because I felt I wanted to keep that for things with claws, like, you know, the cat and the mouse as well. And I know that obviously dogs do have claws, but it's not necessarily the first thing we think of when we think of a dog. He kind of reminds me of a Labrador. I think just because of that yellow paint and the ears as well. So I'm quite glad that it all sort of fits together quite nicely with the Pear Drop theme. I really like Pear Drops. They are sort of old English, old-timey sweets. If you've ever been to an old-fashioned sweet store in the UK, they normally have them in big jars, and you'll find them alongside bonbons and aniseed balls, things like that. When I was a child, we used to have a little sweet store in our village, and it was very old-timey. I don't think it had changed much. I think it was probably been around for 400 years, I imagine. It was a very old shop. But I used to be able to go in and buy what we would call penny sweets. So if I wanted a bonbon, for example, I could just spend 5p and get 5 of them. And it was really fun as a kid to watch them get the sweets out of the jar. And if you bought loads, they would weigh them for you. And you would pay based on the weight. Yeah, good memories. I quite like the shadow that I did here. I think I kept it quite subtle and nicely blended. You'll see later on that that all gets messed up when I try to put in the sprinkles. Yeah, bit of a disaster really, but we figured it out. What I'm now doing is trying to lighten areas where the light is going to be hitting. So I've gone in with a slightly pink red, and then I make it even lighter, and I'm just blending it all in so that, yeah, it's all diffused and not hard. I was going to make this sweet a little bit transparent, but I didn't think it would show up much once I started putting in the sprinkles. So I just kept it looking a little bit opaque. I think I find it quite difficult to make things look translucent when there's nothing behind the object. As in my next design, I've tried to create something that's very see-through, but I'm definitely struggling. I might need to do something different, because I'm not really sure how to fix it and make it work. It's difficult when you're doing your own design and you're looking at references, but obviously none of the references are going to match what you have. And yeah, that's quite it's quite difficult to just imagine how you think the light would be shining through. I'm just using gouache here to flick specks onto the picture to mimic the sugar sprinkles. This is the first time that I've ever done this, and I honestly am not sure this technique worked very well. So I sort of stopped here and put in the dots individually, and I tried to keep the dots focused in on the highlighted areas. I probably went a little bit overboard, but I wanted the dots to look like they were being picked up by the sun, so you won't notice them so much in the shaded areas of this picture. Another thing that I didn't like about this spraying technique is the lines that were created where they all sort of joined together, and there would be a thin line of paint joining all the dots together. So I meticulously went through and tried to remove those white lines with more of the underpaint. Unfortunately, doing this meant that, especially in places where there was a lot of shade, I was trying to match the colouring, and yeah, I found it very difficult to get it exactly right. So yeah, I think next time I do sprinkles I will just have to very slowly and painstakingly put all the dots in myself. If you know of a way that I can use this spray technique where it doesn't create these lines and the really big dots as well, that would be great. Please do let me know. I'm assuming it's something to do with the technique that I used. Yes, I'm very open to learning new ways of doing things, or the correct way to do things. Another query I had for you actually is around my mic, which seems to pick up absolutely every sound within 100-mile radius of my room. You can probably hear the birds outside, and I know that it sometimes picks up my breathing too. Just such an annoying rate. I've tried dabbling with the settings of this mic quite a lot, but I can't really seem to find a solution to it. I think it just is quite a sensitive mic. So if you have any microphone recommendations, maybe something that could do bilateral ear sounds. I can pick it up all around. That would be good. I could certainly make it more ASMR-y with that. If people actually like listening to my voice. I sometimes wonder if I should maybe do some different sounds whilst I'm voicing over the painting. But I think it's good to talk about the painting a bit and what my ideas are. I sort of end up just rambling towards the end anyway. But hopefully you find it relaxing. I really like the shading on this dog. I think the highlighted areas are really good. I mean, obviously I'm no expert, but it looks quite cute. I again do the outline off camera just because it takes a lot of concentration, but I'll come back with the eyes and the nose. I've used a completely different brush for the detail in this one, and I just found it was a lot easier to use, and I think the other brush I had was maybe just getting a bit old, and some of the bristles were sticking out and affecting how I was painting. But this brush worked really, really well. I was very happy with it. I am probably overly careful about keeping in the lines here. I do it very, very slowly, just a little bit at a time, so that it doesn't look odd. So this is the finished piece. I think he looks quite cute. Thank you for watching. Bye.